Hello, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and this is a particularly incredible version of That's a Shoot. Um, what I had planned for today was the, a three-pack. There was three-pack news today that was just incredible, right? We had Jeff Hardy being arrested, we had the report of Sasha Banks being released. And then we had this other story about Vince McMahon being alleged of misconduct in the workplace by a woman and been paying $3 million of hush money to her. Right, so we're gonna talk about all of this until I woke up this morning, and that was just about maybe 20 to 25 minutes ago. Maybe even a little bit longer than when I just woke up, and I was checking to see something on YouTube. And boy, oh boy, it hit me. I saw the videos from all the other wrestling channels. Vince McMahon stepping down as CEO, and I said, "What? What he's doing? What?" And as of right now, this story has just become big. You know, folks on Wrestle Talk yesterday they said that this may be the biggest story of the decade. You know, and even though we're early into the decade, it's just 2022, just 1 year, 2 years into it, more it probably is. And so it's just incredible. I got something here from TNZ I want to read, and we're going to talk about a bit about what this means. So, Vince McMahon is voluntarily stepping down away from his duties as CEO and chairman of WWE amid an investigation into alleged misconduct by the billionaire, and his daughter, Stephanie, has been appointed interim CEO and interim chairwoman. WWE and its board of directors, of which Vince is a member, announced on Friday that 76-year-old will take a step back from his responsibilities as the organization's honcho until the conclusion of the investigation. Quote, WWE and its board of directors take all allegations of misconduct very seriously, the statement read. The independent directors of the board engaged independent legal counsel to assist them with an independent review. Unquote. Um, Another quote. In addition, the special committee and the WWE will work with an independent third party to conduct a comprehensive review of the company's compliance program, HR function, and overall culture. They added, the company and the board do not expect to have further comment until the investigation is concluded. The investigation into Vince stems from a claim that he allegedly agreed to pay a former employee $3 million over 5 years after the two had an affair. The woman alleges that Vince paid her $1 million in advance and was expected to dish out the remaining $2 million in hush money over 5 years. The Wall Street Journal reported that a preliminary investigation into Vince revealed Vince made a payment to the ex-employee using personal funds. Vince said in a statement Friday that he will cooperate and support the investigation by the special committee, and he will accept the findings and outcome of the probe once it is over. I love this company, and I am committed to working with independent directors to strengthen our culture and our company. It is extremely important to me that we have a safe and collaborative workplace, said Vince, who is expected to premiere on SmackDown Friday night. I have committed to do everything in my power to help the special committee complete its work, including marshaling the cooperation of the entire company to assist in the completion of the investigation and to implement its findings. As a result, Stephanie, who recently stepped away from her role as Chief Brand Officer of WWE to be with her family, is back with the company as interim CEO and interim chairwoman. And that is it. Although Stephanie did have something, let's see. They had a tweet from Stephanie up here. Let's see if I can still find it. They didn't have her thing. They didn't have her thing. They had her thing on the TMZ article, but guess over the phone, it just couldn't do it. So I don't know. Um, let's just see really quick. See if they have this. Okay, yeah. So, by the way, Vince McMahon will retain his role or responsibilities related to WWE's creative content during this period and remains committed to cooperating with the review underway. Stephanie McMahon tweeted this morning. Until the conclusion of the investigation into recent allegations, I am honored to assume the role of interim chairwoman and CEO. I love WWE and all it continues to do to entertain billions around the world. Um, in an email to the WWE staff, Stephanie McMahon wrote, I will be returning from my leave of absence and assuming the role of interim chairwoman and CEO. I love our company and I'm excited to continue to work with our President and Chief Revenue Officer, Nick Khan, and our Chief Financial Officer and Administrative Officer, Frank Riddick. And of course, I'm looking forward to working with all of you. My door is always open. So she went on a leave of absence a couple of weeks ago because she wanted to do stuff with her family. And now she is back. And there was some pondering, wondering if that's why she left. There was I was in the conclusion that that maybe she had left because they had knew about the investigation. She had knew about the investigation into her father, and maybe she wanted to distance herself away from her father. So that's why she left. There was some thoughts about that. Maybe she just did the opposite thing about being with her family, something like that. And you can maybe claim that is maybe true because she has now come back to be the interim CEO and chairwoman. As this is happening, just been a couple weeks, it's like a Tom Brady retirement. Tom Brady retires 40 days later. I said I'm coming back. Spending time with your family is not as good as you want it to be. So maybe that happened, but it's to be all seriousness. And this is a very serious thing. It's it's on it's it is crazy what has happened here. Um, we live in a different time now. Um, and another good thing that um, the Rest Talk guys talked about yesterday on their little news video was that you know how this was going to affect Vince McMahon and everything that goes along with WWE, right? Because Vince is the major shareholder. He's a member of the board of directors, and there wasn't, and was there ever going to be a change? Was there ever going to be a change with this? Unless it came from outside sources. And they talked about the Fabulous Moolah Women's Battle Royal and how WWE wasn't going to change it just because of all of the stuff that was around coming out about Fabulous Moolah and about the way she treated some of the ladies in the wrestling business and some of the things that she did or some of the things she was alleged to do, and things like that with human trafficking, even something like that. Um, but until Snickers threatened to pull out, Snickers was going to be the Snickers was going to be the the sponsor for the women's battle royal. That's when they decided to change. They took Fabulous Moolah's name off of the battle royal. So, and you thought that maybe that was going to happen with this. That it wasn't going to be until the sponsors, the sponsors or the people that they work closely with, and particularly their television partners, USA, NBC, Fox, right? Until they said something that really thought it wasn't going to happen. And after they said that, I kind of agree with that. So yeah, Vince, this is probably going to, this is probably going to have, minimal impact on Vince until the television partners and his major sponsors start to say either Vince goes or we go, and that's so that's what I thought, that's the only way Vince was gonna leave. But then to wake up this morning and like I said, just about 35 minutes ago, waking up and seeing this, it's incredible. It's an incredible. It's shocking. It really is. It really is just shocking. I did not think Vince would step down, and Stephanie's taking over. Vince is gonna keep his he's gonna keep his thing, his title of being the head of creative, doing that, working with that. Who knows? Maybe at some point, he might as well do that. He might step away from that as well. Um, so who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen with this conclusion? Who knows what is going to happen with this investigation? Who knows how long it's going to be? Whatever. We see as in the NFL has been investigating this Deshaun Watson situation, for over a year now, and we know that it's a totally different thing. We're talking about sexual assault here, with Deshaun Watson, and what this seems to have been was just a consensual um, a consensual thing between an employee and WWE. Like both was consensual. He was not. He didn't. Apparently, allegedly, he wasn't like he didn't force her on her or anything like that. There is some saying that when his first report first came out that he kind of told her maybe to go to John Laurinaitis and do some stuff with John Laurinaitis. I was going to read the whole report as well. So I don't know. Um, But this seems to be a more consensual thing, unlike the Deshaun Watson stuff. This seems to be more consensual. What it just seems to be is that this is more or less about the hush money and paying it, and if Vince used company funds or his personal funds, because then that is what's happened. Or and then I think they also can be probably investigating this as a pattern. Did this happen with other people in the company? But did Vince do this with other women? Did John Laurinaitis do this with other women? Has this been done by others within the company? Um, so I think that's what this investor is going to try and figure out. So this is insane. Um, Vince McMahon has been with this. This has been with this for over 40 years, 50 years, right? It was 50 since '82. He took over from his father, right? This is 2022, 40 years. I'm 40 years old, so yeah, it would be. I was born in '82. It's 40 years, um, and it is just unreal. When you think of WWE, you think of Vince McMahon, and I guess we'll go ahead and say that I've always thought that the time WWE would be without Vince McMahon is if Vince McMahon passes away, and that's when I thought, how would the WWE look without Vince McMahon? But let's face it, guys. We could be anywhere from from now until the end of the year. At some point, anytime, the board of directors could say that Vince McMahon needs to go, and if Vince is going to direct and he's going to accept the board's and this investigation's independent conclusion, then he could go. Now, there was one other time he stepped down. He stepped down from WWE during the steroid trial. He stepped down as chairman and CEO then, and his wife Linda took over. and she was the president. She was the CEO and chairwoman of WWE until 2009, when she wanted to run for Senate and um, run for the Senate seat that year, the next year, I guess, in 2010, I guess. The Vince took back over, and he's been the CEO and chairman ever since then. Now Stephanie is the interim CEO and chairwoman. We have to see what this. If the findings find out that Vince, if what Vince did wasn't wasn't bad enough to be taken to be taken off the board, then will he come back to being the CEO and chairwoman of chairman of WWE, or is it still gonna be Stephanie? And another question is, was we heard all the time about it being that Nick Khan was going to be, ever since Nick Khan came in, that he was going to be next in line. That he had kind of even pushed back Stephanie and Triple H, and he was going to be next in line. That if Vince ever did retire, or if Vince passed on, it was going to be Nick Khan. Well, they made Stephanie the CEO interim. So, what does now that mean for the WWE? It's just what a What a wild 6.5 months this has been. This is absolutely crazy, crazy thing this has been for WWE and wrestling all in general. The Cody Rhodes leaving AEW, coming back to WWE. The unfortunate injuries of Big E and breaking his neck, and then Cody himself, and then CM Punk winning the AEW Championship. Was Bryan Danielson? No, Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole was probably it was late last year, I think. It was sometime last year. But others, and now these stories, and like I mentioned earlier, I was going to talk about Jeff Hardy and Sasha Banks, and I think what I may do is I think I may I may do that. I may uh, I may do that. I said this was Dash to shoot, but I think what I should do, this is going to be a rapid reaction. That's what I'm going to do. There are times when I do rapid reactions and they are not live. I haven't done one in a long time. Um, but I think maybe what I might do here is I might make this a rapid reaction. Vince McMahon stepping down as CEO of WWE. This is insane. So, I might do my famous combine the two. That's a shoot, rapid reaction. I think that's what I'll do. And then we'll see about Tomorrow, the 18th, I will I will go into those data shoots. I will go into Jeff Hardy arrest, Sasha Banks being released, and we'll talk more about this Vince McMahon stuff. Vince is also going to speak there on SmackDown. We'll talk more about that tomorrow as well. So we'll get into everything in the full bloated talk and everything like that tomorrow. But man, this is insane. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. How do you guys feel about this? What are your thoughts on what will happen next? What happens to Vince? What are your predictions? What do you think? How does this affect WWE's future? He's still going to be part of creative for now. But who knows how long that's going to be as well. What happens now to Vince McMahon? Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.